Hey everyone, this is Steve Blanchard with Collider, and I am thrilled to be with all of you guys talking about Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. This is my most what?
Swooping.
Oh, this you got.
We got to whoop a bit. We got to get a bit of whooping.
Woohoo! Oh, those are some bad
supporting.
woos.
I'm not into it, but I'm supporting.
You guys, your show is the thing that I'm most looking forward to this year. The footage I've seen, especially the trailer today, is incredible. I just want to say that it looks like, from my perspective, that Amazon just basically said, here's our money, go do what you want to do. Because it looks like a movie. It looks incredible. What can you tell people in terms of, the spectacle of this show?
I think the show is so beloved, and the fantasy and the works are so complete and rich, and there's such a emotional attachment to it that I think it was more like, what resources do we need to make this? The resources were there, and the resources kept coming so that we could truly make the show that needed to be made, and show what needed to be shown.
Yeah, I don't think people would want the budget version of this show. I think that would be upsetting. So you do, like Ismael said, you need the resources to sort of fully realize this. And, we've been fortunate enough to watch the first 3 episodes, and I promise you it surpasses, anything we could have hoped for. And we were there. We were there making it, and it still really blew us away.
One of the things that I think is great about this is that, listen, I love the Lord of the Rings movies. I love the extended editions. They're my favorite part because it gave more time to all the characters. And the thing that I'm so excited about this series is that because it's a series, you can actually have conversations that take a few minutes. You don't have to rush to the next scene. That's why I'm so excited. It's 8 hours to tell the story. Can you sort of talk about that aspect of the show, that having this much time really lets you develop these characters?
I guess it's not all about story. It's more also about character development and being able to sit with these characters and fall in love with them and not necessarily have to be driven by story.
But we are.
There's obviously story, but there's also time.
So you're saying that the show is just meandering about. There's nothing that actually...
No, okay. I'm mincing my words.
But I said... We'll tell Luke about this. Go on.
Oh, God. No, I just think that there's also time with these characters, and instead of it just being like, okay, next,
Sure.
got to get to this point, you have time for these characters to develop and to fall in love with them.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say watching. So one of the things that was amazing when we got a chance to see more of the work is that there are storylines that we weren't involved with, that we haven't seen any work of. So I was able to watch characters who I haven't seen on camera at all. And when you watch those, that's when you get this character understanding, this character development. And for me, I found it really moving to watch these actors portray these often canon characters and sometimes not. But to go, whoa, I'm with this person. I want to know what's going on. And that's only because we're seeing inside their souls more because of the time. So that's what I think is the heart of your question. And I agree with what you've said. I think it's really important.
Thank you, Daniel.
So you guys mentioned you've seen the first 3 episodes. Obviously, you were on set, you witnessed everything happening, but the VFX are a huge part of something like this. Talk a little bit about talk about the first 3 episodes and what you saw that you can't wait for fans to see in them.
I think Númenor is the most exciting thing because that hasn't been realized on screen yet. And even when we were shooting, most of it was practical to set. There were vistas in the background that we never saw. But even watching the 3rd episode, I think I was bowled over by what Númenor looks like, even though I was on that set. I think it's gorgeous.
I was just going to say, what was that? You were talking about an alleyway that you stood in. You tell that, because that was amazing when you...
Yeah, I memean, Ramsey Avery, the production designer on this, built not the whole city, but a massive chunk of it. And there's little alleyways in it, and the details are so beautiful. There's a Númenorian graffiti over Old Elvish, which, if you know the story, is a beautiful detail that only a keenly look, someone with eagle eyes will notice. Yeah, it's stunning. Yeah.
So Númenor is the most exciting thing.
We're not biased. We're not biased.
No, but it is stunning. I mean, I gasped. It is the build itself. That's the thing. We did the show and we still are watching the show, and we are floored by it. So I cannot wait for people to see that. And they did put a lot of the amount of artists that worked on this, specialists, artisans. You see it all over the show, the mythology. Some of our costumes, I don't know if you guys, but I'm sure like we had elements under elements that were never gonna be seen, and they were still crafted to like the last detail, and we felt that. We felt that in our performance as well.
Everyone associates Lord of the Rings with New Zealand, and the second season is going to be filming in England. What are you excited for? I guess with the season 2 going to England, are you sort of like, is it weird? Do you know what I mean? Like.
Well, I think people associate the films with New Zealand. But if you go to the literature, if you go to Tolkien and his works, it is very English mythology. So I think it's actually going to be interesting to have the opportunity to, really show some of that part of the world in terms of locations and the talent that's there. I think it's good. I think it's going to keep it fresh, and I think, it will keep us on our toes. But in terms of our time in New Zealand, the end result and what we're going to show the world, we get to really share New Zealand and its beauty. So we still, get to sort of present New Zealand in that way. But Tolkien and the UK, I feel like are very much intertwined. I think sometimes people forget that because, again, it's really the films that sort of made
you
that
made
connection.
it as you were saying it. I'm like, oh yeah, you're 100%. Like I really messed that up. I was like, yeah, that's a big F up on my part.
You didn't mess up. It's a common association.
I'll ask a different question because I got to wrap. Hypothetically speaking, when do you start filming season 2? What?
Yeah, I don't do anything with my face so that they can't edit a reaction. I think, as you know, the show is protected and it protects the there's a function to the protection of the mystery. So I don't think you're gonna get any answers from us about that. And but just so that you know, there's a reason to that. And once you see the episodes, you'll understand why this mystery has been so protected, so that you can have as much wonder and experience as much magic as we have.
I got too close to digging. I was like the dwarf digging.
You did well. You did well.
Listen, I obviously have to stop here. I'm just going to say sincerely, I cannot wait to talk to you again when I can talk about the specifics of the episodes. I wish you guys nothing but the best. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
For having us.